Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Moxon for Nate, and this is my team builder for round 2 of the playoffs of season 7 of the National Football League Majors. This week I am playing my good pal Rizzy POW, coach of the Phoenix Sunfloras. So I have not done the battle yet, and I am super pumped for this game. I cannot wait, honestly, but I'm super nervous. But Rizzy POW is one of my best friends, if not my best friend, that I know in this Pokemon thing we do in this community, and he's a great guy though. He's really funny, really cool, and he is quite a POW, so definitely check him out if you have not already. Link will be down below. But this is actually, it's really cool that I'm playing him in the semis here, because I've actually played him in the semifinals twice in the past, both times in the Major PL in Season 1 and 2. And Season 1 I lost that game and he ended up winning the whole league. Season 2 I won my game versus Rizzy in the semis, and then I moved on to the finals and lost to Dan, but we don't talk about that. But you know, it's just so fitting that I'm playing him here, and I really just find that it's just awesome that I'm playing him here. It makes so much sense, and I'm really happy that I am. So if you did not catch the battle versus Mono last week, well, obviously I did win because I moved on, but if you want to catch that, I will leave a link to that down below. It was a live com, so it was kind of long. It was like 40 minutes, but I don't know, it could have been longer, could have been shorter, but you know, it was a good game. It was very close. So now I did play Riz in week 8, so I did not go over my team then because I wanted to hide it as best as I could, because I knew there's a decent chance I would play him in playoffs, and I am playing him in playoffs. So I think it was smart that I didn't show him my team or make a video on it and show it. I just kind of briefly talked about it in the battle portion of the video. That was the only portion of the video. In the battle I talked about my team briefly, but even like anything that wasn't shown pretty much I didn't talk about. So I'm just going to go over Rizzy's, I guess I'll just read Riz's team and have mine on the screen too. But Riz has got Kieran Black, Clef, Greninja, Excadrill, Gengar, Braylon, Mega Aerodactyl, Mesprit, Lantern, Blaziken, and Furfrou POW. So first off, Furfrou, don't expect to come. If it does come, GG. But this is the team I brought week 8. So let me just go briefly. I'll try to actually be brief, unlike last week versus Mono. I talked about my teams too long. I talked about like the teams that weren't actually my team for a little bit too long. But got my got kind of the captain of the team, not officially the captain, but the GOAT Mega Venusaur here. So Sludge Bomb. Okay, so I just have a dual stab and knockoff here. Knockoff allowed me to hit things like Clef and Gengar and stuff, and well, I mean I can hit Clef, but like I can knock off Clef's leftovers or whatever, knock off Kieran Black's item if it's not Z Crystal, so knockoff was kind of nice. Enough speed for max speed, Jolly Breloom. I'm actually bringing, I think, the same exact EV spread in a very similar set in this game, so you'll see that in a bit. Got my boy Red still here, so running a Figgy Berry, which is kind of weird, but it's meant for Kieran Black, so I think is a decent switch into that. My investment was really weird. I forget exactly what it was. I think it was so I could like live a Life Orb Focus Blast, but that would put me in range to get my Figgy Berry, I think. So something like, maybe like an Ice... No, I think it was so I could live an Ice Beam plus a Focus Blast. So I could switch in on the Ice Beam and live a Focus Blast from a Life Orb, Modest, Kyurem, or any, or like Rash or anything like that. I think that's what it was for. So, Iron Edge, good stab. Yeah, fighting coverage here to hit things like Excadrill and Kyurem, and Toxic. It's nice for stuff, and then Soft Rocks are nice too. So you got my Inferni Pure Flame Charge set, just dual stab, Mach Punch, Flame Charge, enough speed to outspeed Furfrou, yes. No, I don't know if I was creeping Furfrou. No, I think it was maybe just, I think just Kyurem, I think. Yeah, it was Kyurem, not Furfrou. So Flame Charge was really nice because I can outspeed everything on his team if I'm at +1. Barring any fast Scarfers, but I don't expect any of his fast mons to be Scarf. Barring maybe Gengar, but I don't totally expect that to come. Mach Punch allowed me to hit Gren too, which could carry Shuriken, which would be able to hit me, and if, you know, even if I'm faster, if I don't have Mach Punch, then that'll go first. Then the Fire Z move allows me to hit stuff really hard. Then I got my Scarf Zyger here, allows me to check things that Scarfed Ape, or that I would have been able to do with Scarfed Ape, but ended up not bringing Scarfed Ape. As you saw, Zing can check Mega Arrow, check Gren, check Gengar, even a Scarf Gengar. It's pretty nice. So got a pretty fat Lax here, so can also help me deal with Kyurem. Another Figgy Berry set, so 2 Figgies. Figgy's the best move in the game. So so we got not dual stab, but got some coverage. So Fighting and Steel with these 2 moves allows me to hit pretty much everything on his team, including Clef. I think I have enough attack investment so I could 2KO that thing if it does not have lefties. So that's really nice. And then the defense and Spadef had some purpose. I can't remember exactly what. I don't know if it was for Spadef or defense. I think it's so like with the Spadef I could live something like 2 Focus Blasts from Gengar maybe like 2 Life Orb Focus Blasts if I have my Figgy intact, I think. Then I'm just got a Fizz-Def Vape here with Hidden Power Fighting. That way, Kyurem cannot set up a sub on me, and I can still grind for decent damage and not let that thing get up a lot of spikes versus Maiden Skull, which is really nice, and Wish, and it's just fat to allow me to take on Excadrill and other scary Fizz-Def mons like Mega Arrow, like Blaziken. So this team was pretty fat here. We had, a pretty fat core with Vape, Venu, Reggie, and Snorlax, and 2 offensive mons, and Ape and Zygarde. And that team didn't quite work, just, well, not just because, but a big part of that, at least early in the game, was he froze my Snorlax, and Snorlax was able to do nothing that game because it was frozen the whole time, which I'm not going to say it cost me the game because it was not clear at all whether it did, so I can't say it did. It definitely hurt me though, so that's all I really know. But my fat team, I think, could have worked maybe. I had a decent plan with it, and it was a good team, I think, but not a great team, as there were still some flaws with it, and he has like things that can break through my walls. He's got some good breakers, and like Blaziken's pretty good, especially if Vape is, well, I mean, Vape's pretty pressured in this game and can get kind of low, or at least low enough to get 2KO'd by Blaziken. And Kyurem Black's a good breaker, especially with a Z Crystal. I think, I don't know, like going into the last game, I thought he'd bring probably a Life Orb, because that just allows him to get more general power versus like everything. But Z Crystal could make sense too, like a Fightinium Z makes a lot of sense for Snorlax. But yeah, also the Screech on Snorlax, I didn't go for it, but that was for Screech was for Clef in case if he was Cosmic Power, because if I was Curse and he was, yeah, if he was unaware and I had Curse, then he was going to be able to beat me if he was Cosmic Power, which otherwise was really scary. So let me go over what Riz brought. Now, I'm not certain what Riz brought because he didn't send his team to me, which is fair, because like I didn't want him to, because I wasn't going to send him my team. I mean, he actually did send me his team for like a second, but then I told him to get rid of that message because I didn't want to see his team, because I wasn't going to send mine. But this is what I believe he brought, or at least I'm filling in some gaps for some things I'm not certain of. So on Arrow, we saw it was 2 attacks and Roost. I don't think we saw Roost, but I know he had Roost. I know at one point he mentioned it in call or something, and I'm pretty sure he had Roost. I'm like almost certain he said he did, or he did. And he brings Roost a lot, so like, it makes sense. So enough speed to outspeed Max Speed Jelly, Zygarde there. Kyurem with a Chopal, which makes sense, because he brings that a lot. He brings Chopal and like Roost 3 attacks, and he brought Roost 2 attacks Toxic, because he didn't really need a 3rd attack, and Toxic was honestly better. Because then, like, if he carried Fusion Bolt at Vape, then, like, if he got burned from a Scald, which this was a Scald Twitch, so it would be pretty likely that he would, then, it's not as good at breaking Vape, but with Toxic it can do that. And considering it would be hard for me to have the room to run Heal Bell on Vape, too. Toxic was pretty nice. Enough speed to outspeed Max Speed Timotocicus. Drill, I'm really not certain on the Drill set. I'm assuming this was his speed, but I'm really not sure on that. I'm pretty sure it looks like this was the Kyurem set, at least in terms of the EV spread. Not certain on that either. Drill, I believe, would have just been not Max Speed, but this amount of speed and Jolly to outspeed my Kiss, I would believe, but I'm not certain. All I saw is EQ and Spin. Could have had Sword Stance. Could have had maybe like Iron Head in the last move. So it could have just been those 2 moves maybe. I don't know what his item was. He didn't show it at all. Could have been Shuka Berry potentially. It wasn't Scarf. And Grand was lefties, which is kind of weird. I think this was the EV spread or something similar to this maybe. I think he had the 56 in defense, maybe in attack if he had U-turn or low kick or something. But I always saw spikes in Dark Pulse. The Mesprit was, I don't think quite Fizz, or like max Fizz Def, but it was pretty bulky to take on Ape, had lefties, and we saw all 4 of these moves. Blaziken was banded based on the damage from, they're based on the damage that he did to Zygarde, and then High Jump Kick and Flare Blitz he did not show, but he mentioned High Jump Kick in his commentary, and Blitz, I would assume he would run, like, it makes so much sense. There's no way he wouldn't run Blitz on that. So that is what is pretty much his team that he brought in week 8. Week 8. So pretty much. I'm not certain on some things, like there are some gaps that still need to be filled. But that's roughly the team that he has. So these are just some teams that I saw in some mocks this week. And there's one more mock actually that I didn't... Yeah, I didn't know. There's one more mock team that I didn't put here. I just forgot. But as you can see, a common theme with all 4 of these teams being the team Riz brought in 3 of my mocks. And I did have a 4th, but I just forgot to paste the team here. Mega Arrow, Kyurem, Excadrill. They're all coming. Or at least the first 2 I'm like 99.999% sure are coming. And I would probably bet money that they're both coming, because he's brought both of them every single game of the season, and this matchup really does not give... I mean, really, they both have good reasons to come in this matchup, and they're both pretty good in the matchup, so they really don't have, a big reason not to bring them this game. So, they're both coming. I'm essentially certain on that. Excadrill probably is coming. Not quite as certain on that, but it looks very likely. He's brought it, I think, in 9 games or yeah, 9 games out of his 11 in total. So it's most likely going to come. It has a good matchup this game. My only ground immunity is Togekiss and Claydol. Go Claydol. But I do not have a ground resist, I don't think. I don't think I do. So, yeah, no, I don't. So, Drill's scary. Then Clef, I don't know, I'm kind of torn on Clef. Like, in his commentary, he mentioned why he didn't bring Clef, because he did not bring Clef that game, and the only other game he did not bring it was versus Cheese in week 1. Now, I think Clef does have some value versus me, but he didn't bring it, which, I mean, it made sense why he didn't, because in his commentary he said, like, I have, like, Venu and Drapion and Red Steel to deal with it, and it was just, it couldn't do a whole lot that game just because I do some things to not shut it down, but at least stop it a bit. But I still think Clef is pretty good, and I saw it in some of my mocks, which makes sense. Gren, I think, is pretty likely to come. It's fast and can beat and can kind of break my walls, or at least just get damage on them, and if they're low, it can just kind of run through my team. Mesprit came 3 times. It's a pretty nice rocker. I think there's a decent chance it comes again. It's pretty bulky. Hasn't brought out a lot, but it makes sense to help him check Abe. I think he'll either bring Mesprit or Clef. I think he'll have to bring one of them, possibly both. I think one out of the two, just one. I'm not certain of that, but I think he'll bring one of them again to help deal with Ape. Now Clef can be Cosmic Power or Calm Mind. He can be scary. I don't think he'll run Cosmic Power. I mean, he could, but I do some things kind of help me with that. Calm Mind makes a little more sense, but Cosmic Power is actually pretty scary versus my team too. Then Gengar, that's a decent matchup, but I have Drapion, and Drapion's pretty likely to come, as last time Mesprit was, kind of troublesome for me, and Drapion makes sense for me to bring, at least some sense, so I don't think he'll bring Gengar, because I can just switch in Drapion and then just trap him in, and I don't think Gengar does a great job this game. It definitely has some value, but I think in terms of filling that slot on his team, he can fill that slot with something, with something better. Then the last mon, Blaziken, I think definitely has some value too. It's a pretty nice breaker. Fire and fighting is just good coverage for my team, and if I don't bring Vape or Thick Fat Snorlax, then I really don't have a good fire switch in, and I'm not bringing either. I am bringing Lax, but not Thick Fat. So, that's a pretty nice breaker too. And then fighting is pretty nice versus my team. I do have checks like Kiss and Venu and Necro to fighting spam, so fighting spam isn't great, but it allows him to pressure my Snorlax a bit. Now, also Breloom is a mon that isn't on any of these, but I think is pretty good this game too, as outside of my Venu, which is, I mean, probably the best check in the game to Breloom, but outside of that, Breloom's actually really scary versus my team. It can be a nice breaker, or even a late game sweeper. So Breloom's really scary too, so if he builds his team properly to pressure my Venu, and then can keep his Breloom around and can maybe set up and maybe just win, then that can be scary. I've seen like a Natural Gift, like flying to deal with Venu, or even like I saw like one game with like Life Orb Iron Tail and I mocked for week 8, but but my opponent got lucky. That was in a mock, but yeah, he got lucky and kept hitting his Iron Tails, so he was lucky and bad. But I don't think he'll bring Life Orb Iron Tail if he brings Breloom to deal with Venu. I think he'd bring Natural Gift. But let me go over my team that I'm bringing this week. So we got Mega Venu, as I said earlier. So same EV spread. Moves are a little different. I had Energy Bowl and Synthesis over Gig Drain and Sleep Powder. Now I'm bringing those two moves because I don't have any other way of healing back health since, because yeah, I got rid of Synthesis, which I don't have anymore, and I had last time, so I wanted to get back some health, so that's why I have Drain here. I had Energy Ball last game just to deal a little more damage to things like Arrow, things like Excadrill and stuff, just at least for Arrow mainly, just to only put that in Ape range, because Ape was a win con last game. Knockoff again helps me knock off items of Clef, knock off its lefties, knock off Kyurem's item if it's not Sea Crystal, knock off Gengar, and do a lot of damage to that way. Because otherwise, if I don't run knockoff, I can't really hit Gengar, barring Earthquake, which doesn't make too much sense. But yeah, this thing's pretty nice versus his team now. Sleep Powder is there for a couple of things. So it can help me with Kyurem, as that thing could switch in pretty easily to this thing. And I can potentially put that thing to sleep. Clef I could put to sleep too, if it's like annoying in Calm Mind or Cosmic Power or something. I can put that to sleep and that'll help me deal with it, then I can go for a couple Sludge Bombs and keep putting it back to sleep, which is nice. Now, I could poison him with Sludge Bomb, which would be bad if he's Magikarp, because then I can't put him to sleep, which is a little bit annoying. But if he's not Magikarp, which I think there's a decent chance he's not, he could be Magikarp, he might not be, I'm really not certain on that. But if he's not, then poisoning will be very, very helpful. The same speed, just to help me outspeed Jolly Breloom. I think it'll be Adamant, but in one of my mocks last game, one of my opponents brought Jolly Breloom and was kind of able to fuck through my team, so that was annoying. So I'm bringing Timid just to make sure I outspeed Breloom. I don't think I need to, but I want to be safe, because outside of that, I know it's kind of scary. I mean, yeah, my checks outside of that really aren't that good. Like, Ape can kind of deal with it, and like Drapion can to an extent if it's still healthy. But I don't know. If I do make any last-minute changes, I have not done the battle yet, I'll put it on screen. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about it now, and I might change this to, like, bold or calm, just because I don't think I need to be timid, but I don't know. I'll think about it some more. If I do make a change, I'll put it on screen. So next we got Infernape. Same 4 moves. The EV spread's a little bit different. Enough speed to outspeed Kyurem if he's creeping Togekiss, or Excadrill if he's creeping Kiss. Then, like, just like a little bit of speed on top of that if he's, like, creeping me, creeping them. I'm creeping that. So, just a little bit of speed on top of that. Actually, I think, no, because Drill hits 386, so if he wants me to hit 387, then he'll go 388. So I'm gonna, or 288, sorry. I'm gonna actually slap on, sorry, that I'm changing this now. 4 more speed, just so I can outspeed that Drill. Probably won't matter. Oh, no, I meant to, shit, sorry. This looks weird, sorry. Sorry that I'm changing this now, but just in case if Drill wants to run 288, which he might, but, no, we'll see, I guess. But I mean, I can Mach Punch that thing anyways, but I would like to outspeed that so I can potentially set up a Flame Charge versus that, and if I'm at +1 speed and things are low enough, I can just win. The main thing I need damage on is make it Aerodactyl, and then some damage on Clef / Mesprit, so I can go for my my Fire Z move and hopefully knock that thing out, which is really cool. Flame Charge is just really nice to set up on stuff, and I can get to +1 speed and hopefully just win. Next we got my Snorlax, so very similar set to the last time. I had Superpower, Heavy Slam, and Toxic. This time I'm running Earthquake, Heavy Slam, and Outrage. So the EV spread is also a little bit different. I'm running, I think less attack and investment, but I'm adamant so I can, this is just so I can guarantee 2 KO Clef with Heavy Slam if he does have leftovers, which, I mean, like, I predicted him to bring leftovers if he brought it. But I just saw if I can knock it off, or even still doing a minimum of 50%, it gives me a good chance to 2 KO him. But I want to guarantee that I can 2 KO Clef, and it just allows me to hit stuff in general a little harder. I took a little bit out of defense, I think, or is it might be the same defense, I forget. I forget exactly what my spread was for last time, and I changed things a bit, but I think I can take 2 focus, no, I cannot guarantee take 2 focus blasts from Kyurem, but I think with this Spadef, I can guarantee take a Z focus blast from Kyurem after I take rocks, I want to say. I'm actually going to double check on that. I think I can. If not, I'll change it. Sorry that I'm saying this and not being too clear, but I believe I can take a Z-Focus Blast from Kyurem after rocks if he's modest. I'll double check though. So, Heavy Slam is just nice for Arrow. Earthquake allows me to hit Excadrill and Gengar and stuff. Heavy Slam hits Arrow, as I said. Outrage allows me to hit Kyurem. Last time I had Superpower as my coverage to Kyurem, which was kind of nice because it also allows me to hit Excadrill and stuff, and I only really had to carry 2 coverage moves. This time I'm bringing 3, not Toxic. I Toxic on other things. But Outrage allows me to hit Kyurem, and I can still hit it for the same damage next time, which is really nice because he could otherwise just click Roost versus me, and if I just keep dropping my defense by 1 and attack by 1 stage, then Kyurem can kind of beat me that way. But with Outrage, I can just spam that and do like 60%, which is nice. And you can go into Clef, but then I can at least switch out into Navini, or even in Snorlax can kind of deal with Clef. I mean, I probably won't want to stay in though, because I'll be, I could hit myself in not Confusion, but still, Snorlax is kind of nice first Clef. Anyways, next we got my Evire here, so Scarf Evire. So enough speed, same speed as Ape. I think I'll actually slap on 4 more. Fuck it, I'll slap on 4 more just in case of if Drill reaches that. I don't think he'd be Scarfed if he does, but whatever. I'm just running max speed, whatever. It's fine. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. That 4 investment that I just added probably won't matter, but just in case, because max speed Togekiss hits 284, so, but Drill cannot hit 285. To creep that, it hits 286. So, as I said, I just want to creep him, creeping me, so, just in case. So, Focus Blast and Hidden Power Fighting seems weird. Hidden Power Fighting is just pretty nice to spam versus his team. Focus Blast is in case if I need the power, and it's a bad move, so I'm gonna try to get myself in a scenario where I don't have to click Blast, and if I can, I would love to click Hidden Power Fighting instead, if it still kills the things I needed to kill, because in one of my mocks, I was in a late game scenario where Hidden Power Fighting I think would have just cleaned, but, or if I got a poison, yeah, no, if I got a poison on the Kyurem, I would have cleaned, but I did not get a poison on Kyurem out of like 6 Sludge Bombs, but, if I did, then Hidden Power Fighting would have just cleaned, and I ended up losing that mock because I missed a Focus Blast, which, I mean, it wasn't a big deal, it was just a mock, so I don't really care about losing because I missed a Blast there, but I want to click Blast as few times as possible this game, and I don't want to have to click it ever because it's just a risky move. I don't like it, But Volt Switch T-Bolt is nice. I can Volt Switch on a lot of things once Drill's gone, or if I don't think he'll go in a drill, I can click Volt Switch and then pivot on something. T-Bolt just hits a little harder. It's pretty spammable versus his team once extra drill's gone. And then if I can get up rocks too, then Curum isn't a great switch into this either. So next we got my Drapion here. So Sugarberry. So 3 coverage moves and then Toxic, or dual stab, 1 coverage and Toxic. So Aqua Tail's pretty nice as it allows me to hit Blaziken, Mega Arrow, and Drill. Could give you Earthquake to hit those first 2, or to hit Blaziken and Drill. Yeah, because that's not the order that I said it. But Earthquake doesn't hit Arrow, as you know. I mean, unless he's roosting, but Aqua Tail's just better because I want to pressure that thing on the switch, which is nice because I can do a good chunk to that. I think a little over 50%. Knockoff and Poison Jab, just good dual stab versus everything. I wanted to carry Brick Break to hit Curum, but that's not much harder than Poison Jab or Knockoff, and if he's not a Z-Crystal, I can knock off his item, which is pretty dope. And then Toxic can allow me to Toxic either Curum or maybe Mesprit or maybe Arrow, or just weaken things down, pressure them, and get them slowly chipped down, which helps on my Ape a lot. I think I'm actually just going to slap on 4 more into speed. I think one of these was 4 something. I forget. Either my defense or Speed F was 4 something. I think I'm going to slap on 4 more speed again. But this thing can outspeed Drill and Curum, creeping my Kiss. But I think my defense was so it can live, like, yeah, it was so it can live an Earthquake from a Life Orb, Adamant, Extra Drill after I take rocks. Right. So, okay, now I can still live that. And I'm hitting 289, just in case. So next got my Fizz Def Necro, so Rock, Psychic, EQ, Toxic. So again, no Moonlight, which was the same case in week 10, which seems weird. But the reason for that is I don't think I need it, and I don't want to be, because if I have that, then I'll want to heal, and I want to play this game slowly, and I want to use my walls and pivot slowly. That's how I want to play. I want to use my walls and pivot, and play this as a slow defensive game, but that's not how I want to play this game. And I feel like I need Toxic. It allows me to hit Mesprit and just chip that thing down. Otherwise, I can't really hit it, and I don't want Mesprit to come in for free and be able to set up rocks, maybe pivot versus me, maybe just be annoying. I don't want that to come in for free. I want to be able to Toxic it at least. So that's really nice. I mean, I do have Toxic on Drapion, I know, but I don't know if Drapion's going to get to Toxic and Mesprit because he'll probably switch out anyways. And Toxic is just nice in general. If Clef is Magic Guard, I can not Magic Guard, I can Toxic that thing, so that could be really helpful potentially. This thing's just pretty nice. Enough defense so I can live, I think, 2 Earthquakes from, like, a Scarf Drill off, like an Adamant Scarf Drill after I take rocks, I want to say. Something like that. Something from Drill. And then just rest and Speed F, tell me to take hits from Curum a little better. Yeah, this thing is really nice. EQ's there to pressure Drill. I feel like I need it because otherwise I don't do a whole lot to Drill, and EQ will be able to 2KO him and not allow him to set up for free, which is nice. Because I can maybe EQ, and if he wants to set up on the turn, then, I mean, he can probably knock me out the following turn, then 8 can come in and just click Mach Punch, so I'm fine. Yeah, this thing's just nice and it's fat. It's really nice for the team, though, as Rocks are just really nice this game, is they allow me to chip down Curum and Arrow. Both of those I need weakened for Ape, and also allow me to weaken out other things as well for Ape, or even for my boy, my Electivire here, which could also potentially win late game, especially if Drill is gone. But this is the team I'm bringing this week, so hopefully you guys like it. I guess it doesn't really matter if you guys like it. That was weird. Sorry, that was kind of mean. But yeah, I'm about to play Riz. This video will probably go up Sunday, maybe like Saturday night. I don't know. It depends if I can upload it on time before I have to go tonight. I don't know. We'll see. It might just go up on Sunday, whatever. But the battle will go up either tomorrow or later today, sometime on Sunday. Not certain of the time yet, but it should be a good battle versus Riz. Going to live on that game. So yeah, should be a good one as I said, and I am excited, nervous, and I'll see you guys then. Peace out.